Hi, I'm Sean. I'm a walking Napoleon Dynamite with the Die Hard complex, and this channel right here is about my stories and the lessons learned from it. I'm a man with MS who has had many, many adventures. I'm very proud of my life, and I have so many trophies. Like, just honor trophies, you know what I mean? And some are, like, kind of cringeworthy. Like, I have dated sisters once. It was pure accident. It's actually a good story, and also kind of tragic. I have a big heart. I got my heart from my grandmother, who was predominantly the one who raised me up until I was 14 and she passed away. She sewed quilt tops for the homeless until she physically couldn't anymore. At least that's what I say. She moved to another state and then her health declined. My mother, she feeds the homeless now, and I try to as well. I was a white associate pastor in a predominantly black church, the Kojic Church. It was called the Word Center in Arizona. I have been involved with the Kojic Church and many others ever since the age of 14. At 15, I met Dr. Eugene Satterwhite, which was my first mentor, followed by Pastor Jeffrey O. Burns, which was my second. I am out of the church now, but I learned a lot of lessons along the way. I used to be a player, true story, but I was an ethical player, if you will. I wasn't into that poly lifestyle. I could seal the deal, and I chose not to over and over again because I was a neurolinguistic practitioner, neurolinguistic programming practitioner, NLP. And what that is the basis for subliminal suggestion. So if you want to hypnotize somebody, you're using neurolinguistic programming. If you want to influence somebody without them knowing, neurolinguistic programming. And the reason I study that is ever since the first grade, a teacher told my mother, it was at Kennedy Elementary, and the teacher told my mother, Sean is the most manipulative kid I've ever met. And I was. I was dang near a sociopath up until I'd say about 12 years old, when I suddenly I moved from Oregon, where pretty much it was all white. I saw maybe 8 black people in my entire life up until the age of 12, and then I moved to Spanaway, Washington, where I was the minority, or at least it felt that way. I don't know if white folks were the minority there, but I made some amazing friends. I sang my way out of a beatdown after cracking in front of 1,300 students during my moment to shine. And I mean, if you know the B and the C, I was putting on for the B, or about to, and the beatdown I sang myself out of, and it was just the only reason I was able to do that is they were embarrassed. But at the same time, like, you could see them, they were like cats dancing around that mouse, getting ready to. And I don't think I could have taken 3 people at that time. But I was also known as the down white boy. I have dated 2 Caucasian women in my lifetime, 2, and only 1 officially. The rest were SPF 30 or higher. And I'm actually proud of that. I'm very proud of that. And it's not actually proud of that. I'm backpedaling a little bit. I'm regaining. So here's the thing. I have walked off broken bones. I'm that dude that I'd step in, and when other people put down, I'd still be standing. And I'm proud of that. It was hard earned because exposure therapy. I'm the type of autistic individual where I experience more sensation than other people. I have. It's been proven too that autistic people, they have more neurodendritic connections, so basically more connections in your brain, and so we get more information, which is why it's hard to look into somebody's face. It really is. Even to this day, it's still hard to look in people's faces because it's so much information, and I know how to read micro expressions, so that's a lot. I'm going to talk about that stuff. I'm going to talk about being a player. I'm going to talk about being alone, like really alone, like working for myself all the time, not really interacting with anybody unless I'm selling them something. And usually it's from a distance, and the interactions are 5 minutes. I used to be fat. I used to be big. I'm okay to say fat because I was big. And in fact, one time, I think it was about 3rd grade or so, I was standing with my childhood best friend up on this hill called Big 18th, right, over in Kaiser, Oregon. And it was snowing outside. He looked at me, I looked at him, and I saw this look in his eyes, right? I'm like, no, No. He wanted to push me down the hill to see if I formed a snowball. Real talk. He was about to do that. And when I confronted him on it, he's like, yeah, I was totally thinking that. Like, dude. um, I have been, I'm not going to say held up, but I'm going to say held up. Like, it wasn't somebody with a gun, but it was a person twice my size with a empty bottle of 24.6% alcohol by volume. And I believe it was a s'mores vodka right next to my head. And if you're driving, because I was doing Lyft that time, I mean, I used to be known as Rideshare Commando, and I've written 3 children's books and 1 memoir on autism. I'm going to cover all of this stuff. This is just the intro video so that you can get a taste for what you're going to be walking into if you subscribe. Which, go ahead and do that. Like, subscribe, do the good stuff. I also have a show that's coming out called Sean Saves the World one question at a time. And this stutter right here, it's part MS and part nervousness. I have been in front of crowds. I have exposure therapy myself. My pastor, Jeffrey O. Burns, he knew that I was shy to speak in front of people, but I also told him I need to get over that shyness. And what did he do? That freaking Sunday. And now singing for us, Sean Hupel. And I'm looking around like, why did nobody tell me? So I got up there and I tried to throw it down. Apparently I did. I do sing. I don't sing. In fact, I want to sing right now. Hold me like the river Jordan. But I am a bass, actually. A baritone bass. So, what? I'm trying to think of a good song to show that off right now. But you're going to hear it eventually. I have a kind heart. I've been through a lot. There's a lot of stories behind me. The people that smile the biggest usually have the most reason to frown. And I own that. And I'm going to be sharing all of that with you. I've been through some crazy stuff. Okay, imagine this. You know those folks that they go through this, that, and they're just tough, heavy, raw. Like my best friend. She is a tough mother. Dead ass. She is tough. You could see her and within 30 seconds, maybe not even that long, you'd be like, yeah, she could fight. Because she had to. I have been homeless. I have fought my way up. I was kicked out at 18 without any adult skills. And that's how I found my first mentor. I knew that I needed somebody to show me how to be a man. And then came Dr. Eugene Satterwhite. I felt him out, he felt me out, and he became my mentor. And then he became my spiritual father. I really, really appreciate him and the lessons he taught me. He taught me how to research. He taught me how to be a good person. My grandmother taught me empathy. Pastor Burns, he taught me sometimes you just got to put 10 toes down. As much as I like to claim I'm a badass, I have a very sensitive heart. The things that happen around the globe, like you can't even say Palestine or anything like that without getting flagged. But like that really affected me. Right now, as I talk to you, I'm actually recovering from injuries related to an accident. My lower back is throbbing, and I walk off pain. I've walked off broken bones. This little green belt back in Taekwondo, I ended up, I didn't know he could bring his knee up that quickly, and his side was wide open. I threw a kick in there, and my foot literally bent around his knee. It was, and then I walked it off, because why go to a doctor? What are they gonna do? Put me in a cast or something? Like, whatever. There are a lot of things that happen in life. There's another aspect that I don't know if this is going to be a channel or if it's just going to be part of Sean Saves the World when the topic comes up. But I am very endowed with spirituality. It runs in the family. And it was one that my grams kind of filled me in on. Apparently not a lot of men, I don't know. I feel like not a lot of men in our family have the gifts that, like, I know plenty of, here's the thing. Premonitions are real. I've had them all my life since I was about 5 years old. Okay? And no, I'm not going to predict the lottery or anything like that. They're all for a purpose. And I have helped people. I've known things that I shouldn't be able to know. And I know plenty of friends, like throughout the past 20 plus years, that I've talked to different people that have similar stories, similar experiences. There's a reason that you hear about these things in different religions, including Christianity. The gifts of the Spirit, yeah, it's a function of nature. As much as we don't want to, some people don't want to admit it, it's a function of nature. At least it has been for me, my entire life. I am being vulnerable on this channel. I'm going to be vulnerable with my stories. I'm going to tell them to you straight. I've had somebody break into my room twice and have to be escorted out by police. And then after I helped her get back to Philadelphia, she expressed that she's not with us anymore. And I still carry her belt that she left behind, because I don't think that anybody should be forgotten. I have a huge thing for animals and cats. They have a huge thing for me. For some reason, children like me. I don't know why, but they do. I'm going to pass on some wisdom. Some of it was hard-earned. Some of it was ignored from people that gave it to me earlier. I'm here to try and help folks. To fill in the gaps that I wish somebody would have filled in for me instead of having to learn the hard way. And I'm stubborn. But this is me. This is me. I want to say that I'll defend the innocent. Like, that's what was coming out of me. I'm very protective of those I care about. I have the funeral thing. It's like what you get when you walk into church. Some bigger churches, once you go, the program, there we go. I still have that with her picture on it, and I'm going to keep it for the rest of my life. If you're a friend, you're family to me. All my friends know that they're family. I have pulled off many things in PR. When the Broad Street Market fires happened, I was volunteering there to keep a promise to a friend that helped me out in Southside Chicago. And the only ask he gave me, after driving me around these closed businesses until I spoke up, he knew I was going to speak up. I said it was a shame, and he said, this food desert, these closed businesses, if you can ever do something about it, do it. And that's why I volunteered at the Broad Street Market right before the fire. And I was involved very heavily in PR after the Broad Street Market fire happened in Pennsylvania. And that was 2023. Man, it feels like so long ago. Life has been crazy. I've had a lot of adventures. And you're going to hear them. You're going to hear them. So stick around. Listen, know that I love all of you. I may not like you. I may not like some of the things you do, but I love you. Ashe. I'm always going to be honest with you. And if that means I've got to get uncomfortably vulnerable, I will. So, stand by, subscribe, like. I'll see you soon. And as always, stay amazing.